Good morning, everybody. It is Amy and Jamie with our
Cheers.
coffee chat. And I told Amy, I said, I'm having some water this morning because I told Amy I have been up now for 5.5 hours. So I actually had some, tell me if you've ever heard of this, Amy, because we didn't talk about this. I had some matcha tea.
No, I don't know what that is.
So it's a green tea, but for whatever reason, the matcha is something a little different. I don't know. And I had this recipe of adding basically milk to it, so then it's like a latte. So it's
Ah,
it's kind of similar to a coffee, but it's a tea. So yeah.
hmm.
So I tried that a little something different this morning. So
Did you
I had
did you
that.
like it?
It didn't taste like coffee, but it had like a similar because it had the frothy milk on the top and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was actually pretty good. I had
Oh
one the
yeah.
other day. I went out, I met a couple of friends, some entrepreneur friends, and I had one out somewhere. Yeah, theirs was a whole lot better. So
Oh man. Hi
I,
B. We got
yeah,
B
I see
here.
some people starting to pop on. So that is actually my Aunt Bev that just popped
Hmm.
on. So she was one of those people who got her Facebook profile hacked into.
Oh
So
no.
so she had to create a different profile and now goes by B instead of Bev.
Well, that's cute. I like
Yeah,
it. Hi
yeah.
Bev slash B. I've got some aunties that follow me as well. I've got a huge family because my grandmother on my mother's side had 16 kids. So there were 11
I have a
girls.
family member that had 17. So yeah, there's
Wow, Jamie. Wow. We have that in common as well. Huge family.
yeah.
So yeah, in my family is very creative. I have a lot of aunts that love to draw and paint and do amazing things. So that's cool. That's
Oh,
cool
Julie's
that
popping
you get.
on from Montana. She said she can watch for a little bit.
Oh,
So,
Julie, I miss you. I hope everything is good with you. Reach
oh, a
out
green
anytime.
tea frappuccino or green tea frappuccino. I've never tried that at Starbucks, but
Hmm.
yeah. So Atlanta, I have family around Atlanta. So the
I
Masters
have
is
some
going
in
on right
Georgia,
now in
but
Atlanta. My husband
oh,
was super excited about that.
oh, cool. And I have relatives close to Savannah. But my nephew went to college in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, it looks like we have some other people popping on. And today we started coming up with, we've been doing this coffee chat for a couple of months now. I don't
Hmm.
remember even now when we started, but we just kind of would come on and chat. And a few times ago, we decided, well, maybe we should have like a topic. And so we kind of have like a topic each time. And this time we decided because we were getting a lot of questions about content and about and you know what I was thinking about this morning, Amy? I know that not everybody that's watching is maybe a business owner. Like
Right.
we've started to kind of, make this more about like answering business type questions because both of us are entrepreneurs. But I started thinking about content. That's what we call it, but really it's posting.
Hmm.
And whether you
Hmm.
have a profile or you have a business page, that's what you do here on Facebook is you
Yeah.
post. That's
Yeah.
content. And so I started thinking about a lot of the questions that I get. They're not necessarily solely business related content
Right.
questions. Really, they're very similar to why and what we share on our personal profiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a lot of the same stuff will apply.
I think that's a really good point that you just brought up because I remember back when I first started selling my drawings and my paintings online. I wasn't using a business page. I wasn't even
Right.
building a collector's group. I had no clue even what I would do with I didn't even, that wasn't even a thought in my mind. So how I started promoting myself and marketing myself was just what you said, just right on my profile. And I didn't know the term content creation. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just making a post like my friends were making a post.
Right.
So yeah, so exactly. You're right on with that.
Yeah. Now, I will say that it is against the terms of service of Facebook to sell on your personal profile. But can you talk about what it is that you're doing? Sure.
Yep.
I mean, I can talk about that I have a business. I can talk about what I'm creating. I can talk
Yep.
about what I'm offering. But, putting a dollar sign and making it look like a
Right.
sales, then that's against their terms of service and
Yeah.
could potentially get your profile taken down.
Yeah.
Your
And there's a
personal
lot of
profile.
people doing it, but I tell my
Yes.
members, pretend we're all on a highway, everybody's speeding, we're going over the speed limit a little
Just
bit,
because other
five,
people.
5 miles an hour over, 10 miles an hour over, and there's all these people going, and somebody's going to get stopped and get a ticket. Is it going to be you? Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
So, Jamie is right. And I'm glad that you brought that up because I teach my members the same thing. Like, I don't want you to get into Facebook fail or whatever, or like or on. And I don't know if that's what she probably wasn't doing that, but like, get it shut down. We don't want to get shut
Yeah.
down for.
Oh yeah, there are other reasons why, but
Yeah.
yeah. And honestly, I think really that should kind of apply to your business page. Like, I mean, you can answer in the comments there. No one likes to be sold to, right? So if that's all we're doing on our business page, then that's not really going to attract people that, they're showing up for a lot of other reasons, not just to buy things from you.
Yeah.
And I think that there are ways to do that are not so, what's the sleazy is the word that a lot of people use, but just that don't come across as sales being your ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's not yes, I'm a business. Yes, I want to earn money, but that's not the ultimate goal for me. The money is what makes the other things possible.
Yeah.
So it's never about that I'm trying to sell things. It's that I'm trying to offer services, products, whatever that I feel like will help other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think our comments, maybe somebody make a comment because for me they kind of just like stopped and I don't see any other. There we go.
Oh, here's one.
So, oh, yeah, Bev was talking about how they, why they took her profile down and stuff like that. So, yeah, but what was I just thinking about what do you think, Amy, are like the reasons why you post content? Because we'll just call it posting content instead of like content creation, but we can talk a little bit about creating it actually too.
Well, I mean, going back to what you said, because, well, number one, I want people to be aware of what I have available that could potentially help them. And I want to attract the right type of person that would be interested in it because not everybody's going to be interested in, like, I'll go back to when I used to sell paintings a lot when I first started off using my profile. So I can kind of, instead of using my entrepreneurial life as of now, I'll go back to the beginning. So when I started posting, it was to just kind of let my friends kind of be aware. Some of them knew, but not all of them did, but kind of be aware, like, hey, Amy's doing portrait drawings or paintings of landscapes. And the thing is, I would do a lot of lives back then on my profile, and I wasn't selling, but I would just set up my camera and I would press the live button and I would just start painting.
Like show what you were doing.
Yeah, just kind of show. So, and I would, it kind of worked like magic because I would get the people that were enjoying watching the process stick around. And painting takes a while, right? So sometimes they would go out, they would come back in, they would go out and come back in, like, and they would even message me, hey, I was shopping, but I came back to see if you were still on. And so I could tell they were really enjoying it. So that's what I did, and that's kind of how I started, was doing a lot of lives, just creating art. And for all of you who are afraid to show your face on camera, because I know that's a scary thing, being an artist, you don't have to do that. You literally can just point your phone to your easel or down on your table, wherever it is, and paint and draw away or do your journaling, whatever it is that you like to create. So basically, I was sharing my passion and my talent with my friends. And when they loved it, they would share it with their friends, and they would share it with their friends.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I started. And then I started getting messages coming in, and then a light bulb went off, like, why don't I start my own collectors group for people that are interested in my pieces? And yes, I was selling too, mostly through the PMs, because people would message, when I would put a post on of the finished product, because that's what I would do too. So I would do the live, and then when it was done, when I was done my creation, I would take a picture of it, and then I would make a post about it, like, oh, here's how it came out. So that's kind of how I started as far as with my business of selling art. Of course, I've transformed now because now I'm an art business coach. I still sell paintings, but not as much as I used to, because there's only so much we can do in a day. But I think, just to recap your question, Jamie, is like, share your talent, share what you're passionate about. Don't be afraid to put your stuff out there, because yeah, not everybody's gonna want to follow you. Not everyone's gonna be
And that's fine. That just
your
means
post.
those aren't your
Yeah,
people.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. But I think, it is kind of like a dagger sometimes when you're first starting out, and it's like, oh, somebody doesn't like this, or they made a bad. Just ignore and keep going on. Obviously, if somebody's bullying you, then you press the block and ban button.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it, because no matter what industry you're in, not every single person in the world is going to be attracted to that. It's just, that's not the way the world works. I've been talking for a while, so I'll let you take it away.
I was thinking about a couple of different things you were talking, like the two words, because I always pull things out that start with the same letter, and that's how I remember things. So you said to make people aware, and I think that that was the first thing, and then to attract people, which I kind of look at that as you don't tell them everything, right? You got to create some curiosity, and I think that those are a lot of the posts that I've had more reactions with and things like that, when you don't just tell them everything, right? Because that still sounds kind of like selling, right?
Yeah.
Selling is not telling, it's telling more stories, and getting the just curiosity going and things like that. But so those two words really stood out to me when you were talking about attracting people and how you do that, and then just bringing awareness. I don't know what the number is now, but it used to be that somebody had to see your stuff about 7 times before they made a decision. I think that it's actually increased. Somebody had said, like, way, way beyond that now, because we're so, just, we have so many things coming at us. We have to see things even that many more times to be able to, make any kind of decision about whether it would be a value for us or not.
So back in the day when I first started to understand business and marketing, actually this was a long time ago. I'm dating myself here. Thinking in my brain, like my hair salon, my cleaning business that I had before that. My kids were little, now they're grown and out of the house. But yes, you have somebody, a potential customer would have to see something 6 to 9 times before they even decide if they're going to do anything about it.
But even interested.
Yeah. But I think now that you're right, Jamie, if we kind of fast forward into this day and age with so much at us all the time, as soon as you open your phone, it's like, there's so many things that I think you're right. I bet, I don't know the exact statistics on that, but I would be willing to bet that you're right. It's probably even more than that now.
It was significantly, the person that said, it was a couple of weeks ago, I remember hearing about it, and it was significantly more.
Yeah. I learned that too way back in the day, because one of my really close friends was a marketing agent. Well, she still is, for our city newspaper. So she knew all about marketing and advertising in the newspaper. This was way back before we were really putting stuff online, before we were even getting into online stuff, because I had a brick and mortar business, and then I had a service business, and it was not an online thing. But yeah, she kind of taught me all about that. Like, oh, Amy, you don't want to take your ad down. You got to leave it in the paper somebody has to see it 6 to 9 times, and that's when I first heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Julie was saying that she needed that reminder because sometimes it feels like we're posting all the time and
Yes.
we're oversharing and we're,
Yes.
we just told people about that, but really,
Yeah.
you're only reaching like 1 to 3% of the people who follow you, whether that's on your personal profile or your business page. And you're not not everyone is seeing the post that you just made yesterday.
Right.
So you have to make it, and keep, keep talking about it and keep sharing about it and things like that. So.
And Julie said, I feel I'm overposting. And I know we talked about this before, Julie, because I remember that you mentioned this before. And yeah, I mean, I was like that at one point too, but now I'm like so over it because Jamie's right. And I really think that this world nowadays has, upped the number of how many times people need to see something. So we don't need to, we can kind of just, if you're listening to what we're saying, just get that out of your head, because don't feel bad about posting and posting and posting, because, I like what you said to Jamie about the percentage, because literally that's it. Like there's not a big percentage that's going to see that post or that live or that whatever you're doing.
Even if I teach in my Engagement Made Easy membership about different ways that you can help to increase that number and that percentage. But even when you do that, you're not getting 100%. You're not going to get 100% of, and especially if you have, I think I'm approaching that 5,000 friend mark. So you can't go over that.
Right.
I would never be able to see 5,000 if every one of my friends posted. Because honestly, I don't scroll Facebook. Every once in a while, if I log into Facebook so that I can see my groups and go onto my business page or, whatever it is, I'll see the first post and maybe it'll catch my eye and I'll scroll for it. So what am I seeing then? Maybe four to 5 posts out of my 5,000 friends or followers that I'm seeing. That's 1%, right? Yeah. If I have 5,000, I'm seeing 5, that's 1%. Or is it 0.01? What I don't, it's low.
0.01.
Yeah. We're not going to do math here on our coffee chats.
Too early for that.
Yeah, but it's low, right? So I'm not going to, as a consumer, and so I always try to put myself in the place of, who's watching me, who's following me. They may scroll a little bit more than us because, they're not running their full-time business but they're at work, probably. So they're not going to be able to see all those things. So even though you posted at 8 a.m., that not everybody's going to see that. So even if you posted later that night, well, then you're going to get the different group of people who see it at night that didn't see it in the morning.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I don't know that
and here's the thing too about, reacting. I love how you said, because I think the same way about you want to put yourself in your viewer's point of view, basically, or your potential customer, your potential follower, whatever it is. Jamie's right about that. Like if you are in business or you want to run a business, you need to do that. You need to look at it from a different perspective, even with your postings, and also understand that the way the algorithm works, right? And not just here on this platform, but many platforms. If you interact with a post, you will see more of that post. Mm-hmm. I've seen so many people that, like my friends or whatever, the people that have complained throughout the years, like, oh, why am I always seeing this? I don't like it. And I tell them I don't want to see. If you tell them, if you engage, no matter what it is, you're going to see more. Yeah. So that's why why we should look at it from a viewer's perspective. Like, am I putting out this picture on my Facebook that's going to be helpful or entertaining or attractive for the people that I want to attract? Is it going to be if I'm doing a live, is this going to be something that people will want to share or heart or thumbs up or whatever? So if you get that stuff going on, then your audience is going to start building. So yes, in the whole scheme of things, when you take a picture, you put it on your post or you do a live, hardly anyone's going to see it. A very smidgen of a number,
Right.
just like Jamie said. But when you're putting out good content and people are reacting, that's when you're going to start building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
because
you said
I've
a couple
gotten
of words.
questions too with my
Yeah.
own members, like, oh, I put this out, nothing happened. So just remember what we said. Like, you have to put it out multiple times for anything to happen.
Yeah. So you said a couple of words there that made me think about I've always read about the like being intentional about your post. And really I feel like that's on your personal profile too. You know, as a business, we have maybe different goals, but really if you're posting, I saw Denise put a couple of things about she celebrates birthdays and different things like that. She puts more than 6 words. So she's given us some tips in there about, you know, commenting from, you know, like a viewer kind of viewpoint there. But it made me think of the things that I've read about the content that you share. It should either entertain, and somebody can type this up in the comments if they want entertain. It should educate, right? Again, with the ease. But I think the third one is like it should be inspirational in some way. But I always think of like is there another E that I'm thinking about? The 3 E's? Educate, entertain.
You
And I always thought it was
might have them
inspire.
because it's sort of like the things that will get saved, right? If you get a save, that's great. Things that will get saved are like a tip, like a little tutorial, like a little how to. That kind of stuff usually gets saved, and that's pretty awesome. The things that
Terry says edify. Terry, can you define that for me?
I was going to say, I'm not sure what that is.
To be enthusiastic, I like that. I think that, yeah, you should be enthusiastic. And, you know, I was thinking about that earlier, that when you share, you were talking about like just sharing what you were doing. I think that that is authentic. And it comes across, you know, your enthusiasm and things like that. It comes across as being very authentic. And people, you know, you want people to know you, you want them to like you, and you want them to trust you so that they exchange money with you.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, for a business, that's what we're trying to get to. So, Denise says edify too. Endorse. We're thinking of all the E words. I love it. So I definitely remember things when they are
I love how your brain works like that, Jamie. I'm gonna start.
It's my teacher brain.
Yeah. That's
it
great.
is. My course I design like that too, so that each one of the different practices has 3, you know, because 3 is always a good, you know, 3 points, 3, and they all start with the same letter.
Perfect. So smart. That's great. That's wonderful. That goes back to your teacher days.
Yes.
Like that, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and really that's at kind of like the heart of my business, is helping, educating, you know. So entertaining is definitely up there too, because I always want to, you know, make things fun. But Denise, I like empower. That's a good one. I think that
I say empower a lot. That's actually in one of my my opening speeches for when I do my lives. I love that word because I love to empower as well. And your aunt, you know, said entertain. And entertaining. If you can make someone laugh, or like you were talking about, Jamie, like something inspirational, those are the kind of things that usually get shared, right? Because they're like, oh, this is making me feel so inspired. I'm going to share this with my friend. Or this is so hilarious. I love it. Or, and I just had a conversation with one of my creative warriors recently too, about lives and, you know, being nervous. And I'm like, hey, listen, we need to be authentic. and being authentic, sometimes that can be funny, right? The dog's barking, or maybe your lamp tipped over. We could turn it into a big catastrophe. And in the beginning, I used to sweat bullets, but now it's like, I'm just rolling with it. Whatever happens, happens, and it can be entertaining. So,
Yeah. So I'll go ahead because I'm pretty sure that both of us are in the same similar age range, and we'll see who's watching. Anytime that somebody talks about like being scared, being afraid of something, being, whatever, one of the things that always pops into my mind is Brady Bunch. Do you know which scene I'm going to talk? So,
oh wait, let me think.
you can tell us in the comments if you watch Brady Bunch, because
something
that
popped
was
in my brain, but I'm not sure if it's going to be what you're to say.
I'm pretty sure that it was Marcia, and she was taking her driving test. And somebody had told her if she gets nervous that she should picture the driving instructor in his underwear.
Oh, right. I remember that. Yeah.
So anytime I think about like somebody, saying that they're afraid or whatever, or they're nervous because, sometimes bringing some kind of humor into it is just a good way to kind of, kind of release some of that tension and that nervousness. And so, Cheryl says
yes. So, Cheryl too.
Tracy says she just popped up. She's over there in Arizona. So she's, she's the bunny. Oh, yes. If you did not see Tracy's bunny hop, it definitely made me smile. I had to watch it a couple times and I was like, wait, was that Tracy just doing the bunny hop? That was awesome, Tracy. So I know my friend Sarah just did a funny video a few days ago. And so, yeah, I really like this because I think we need like more laughter, right? Yeah. So, yeah. So those are always good. So, Denise is in Oregon. So, yeah, I think that the educate, the entertain, and whatever that third word is, I always thought it was inspire. But I think that doing your content with a purpose and intention like that, instead of just telling people things, is much more beneficial because you're providing value.
Yeah.
Whether it's value in the entertainment or the educating or there's value in it. Yeah. And there's a difference. People will come back to your page if you're offering value.
Yeah.
And that's really what you want, right? Is to someone to keep consuming your content, not just to show up and, oh, that was great. And, whatever. Yeah. And I think you get a feel for if somebody's just sharing things to share, like, hey, look at me. Hey, look at what I did. And, I always try to share things with the intention of, is there a lesson in this that I can teach? Is there a tip that I can give? Is there, and sometimes it's inspiration. Hey, look at what I did, only so that, to encourage, and you can do this too.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anything special that I did, or here are the steps that I did to get to here, or, it's something about encouraging and that word empower, empowering other people that they can do that too.
Yeah. So. I want to clear something up in case we have any viewers that might be hearing the word share in the wrong way, because Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm on the right track here on how to explain this. But when Jamie's talking about sharing content, sharing what's valuable, things like, she's not talking about going on her phone and finding other people's stuff and then sharing it to her page,
right?
Or sharing it to her profile. She's talking about putting her own stuff and sharing within her, because there's a lot of you who I see your pages, I see your profiles, and it's just all this other stuff that you find inspirational, which is great, but you should not have on your feed all these share overs that you've done. If you do one here and there, that's fine. But when your content is all encompassed with all of the shares from other people, That's
You're
not
really just
you.
promoting other people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not you promoting yourself and sharing your own who you are and what you're putting out there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, that's a good point. Yeah, I was just talking about like when we make a post, yeah, about the
Yeah.
what it is that we share. So,
I'm curious if anybody has any questions for us about um, content creation slash just making posts or going live or putting anything out there. Is there anything that you are struggling with, or do you want to share what you are focusing on within your business, or if you don't have a business yet, what your thoughts are to start promoting or put out there? Just curious. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them in here. I'm sure Jamie will put one up, but if not, we'll just keep rolling and Jamie and I will just keep chatting.
yeah. Yeah, Denise was saying that she posts scripture memes. So, I think along the terms of what are your values, I guess is probably your core values, the things that you post about. And usually people pick like 3 to 5 things, right? And they kind of, describe like what it is that you're about. Do you have like your 3 to 5 things that you post about, Amy?
Yeah, I think just like naturally it's happened. Like um in the beginning it was I did have music because I sang in my band for years on end,
That's right.
but the thing is it's like music is it's hard to post on this platform because you can get pulled over for that. But I still do talk about it here and there. But yeah, art, my family, my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, things like that. In my fur babies, and now it's my kitties. So I have a little number of things that I will kind of roll over, and I just naturally keep posting about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of have that similar thing on my personal profile. I'll talk about fun things and, places that my husband and I will try out. So I'm almost kind of like recommending,
Yeah.
different restaurants and just kind of giving reviews of like where we go or whatever, and family and friends. And then, yeah, my art or creative things, and probably some inspirational. And so what I've started trying to do a little bit more on my business page is post kind of more of a assortment variety of those things too.
Yeah.
So the other day I posted about a couple of entrepreneurs and I getting together to have a coffee chat, and we were talking about upcoming things that we're going to do together. So, I posted about that because that's kind of behind the scenes. Like I kind of want to know the personal things about somebody who's running a business, so I feel like I know them. Right? So
Yeah.
every once in a while you can make it more about you as a person, even on your business page, because
exactly.
that's who's running that business.
Yeah.
And so you'll get people to know you better if you're, posting some of those kinds of things. So yeah, not just so I kind of have on my business page, I have more things that I'm trying to post like that. I have my artwork and my parties that I do and things like that. And then I have usually like in the morning, I'll have some kind of post where it's getting to know my audience. So I'll ask questions or, what I consider my engagement posts. So yeah. Tracy had a question. I'll pull up here.
Yeah. I have my thoughts, but we'll see what your thoughts are.
She said, how often do you think we should be posting each day? And so we'll talk specifically on business page. So I know I follow someone on Instagram, and he says the more you post, the more you'll grow. So that's on Instagram, a little bit different, but I think there is some value to that. Going back to, we were talking about posting a lot. The more you post, the more it's going to pop up in the feed, and especially if you're getting people to see the posts. But there are some days, just honestly in my business and on my page, that I have one post per day. Yeah. But then there are other days where I may have 5 or 6 posts. I
Yeah.
would say at minimum, you need to do something that you can consistently do. So if it's consistently having one post per day, then I would say that that's what you do.
Yeah.
Don't make 10 posts one day, then go for a week and don't post anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very, very
It's
true.
not the same,
Yeah.
right? So consistency and doing at least one a day, I think, especially if it's valuable content, it's educational, I think that once a day is probably, enough to keep that business page popping up in the feed of people that are engaging with it. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah. So
What are
now
your thoughts?
I love everything that you said, and I do agree with that, Jamie. So back in the day when I started, like I was talking earlier about how I started to do my drawings and my paintings online. I started to follow when I started getting interested in like, oh, I started to get orders and people messaging me and things like that and making sales. And I'm like, maybe I could really do something with this. But I'm like old school typer. I didn't know anything about techie stuff. I knew how to make a post and that's it. So I started to follow a Facebook developer who did a lot of free content on his page and things like that, all about this platform. And so inside of my membership, it's a high focus. I teach on how to market yourself as an artist organically using social media, high focus on this platform on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's the one that I know most about, but
Me too.
I'm on all the other socials as well. So to go back to like how often you be posting, and I hear a lot of this often from my members and things like that. But what I learned from the Facebook developer is 3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once at night. That's on the Facebook platform. And that goes for everywhere you have a presence. So on Facebook, we all have a profile. Then we can have a group, and we can have a business page. So on all three of those places, 3 times a day. Now that's a lot. So
That would be a lot for me to maintain. I don't
that's a
think I
lot.
could do
So
3
I
posts.
want to go back to what Jamie said. And I've tested this and it does seem to work. So when I have the energy and I can pre-schedule, you can't on your profile, but you can in your group and your page. So when I have the energy to pre-schedule and I can get all that content together, then yeah, I'll do those 3 times. But on your profile, you'll have to go manually and do it. But please listen up. Jamie is right. I think consistency is the number one. So if you can be consistent with even one post a day, perfect. Perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you can maintain at an intensity level that you can maintain. If you can
Yeah.
do the 3 posts per day and you can kind of keep up with that, but at some point, I think sometimes that can lead to burnout if you're
Yeah.
trying to do too much all at
Yeah.
once and you can't keep it up consistently.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what you have to say about this because Tracy said, but can you be posting too much?
I would say on Facebook, no. On Instagram, it may be different, but Jamie, you know more about Instagram than I do. So you might want to answer that one for her there. But on Facebook, no, I don't think you can be posting too much. I think my gosh, if you can do the 3 a day, you're golden. I have one Creative Warrior member that does that and she's building. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, good for you. But yes, I don't want them to get burnt out, just like I don't want any of us to get burnt out. So, kind of figure out what can you realistically be consistent with,
Yeah.
but on Instagram, what do you think? Because I heard it was less than that on Instagram, but you know better than I do.
Yeah, I'm not trying to grow on Instagram necessarily. I have a presence over there, but what I was going to answer to that is I think there is a yes to that question because part of posting is the engaging. And if you want engagement and you want conversations, you have to be engaging back. So if you're producing so much content, and especially if there's a lot of engagement, a lot of reactions, a lot of people commenting on that post, if you can't get back to those people and respond to those people, yes, as one person, I think there can be too much.
Yeah.
Because then it just feels like you're putting out this content and you're not able to interact with it yourself. So
Thanks
then
for
there
clearing
comes
that
a
up for
point,
them.
then there comes a point where you have to hire like a community manager to like help you manage some of that to be able, like I'm kind of getting to that point where sometimes there are posts that are getting engagement and I can't get back to them in a timely way. I will eventually try to get back to them and comment and engage and, interact or whatever. But so I think there is a point where you can post too much. And I'll give example of this. When I first started doing Facebook Lives, I was doing 5 a week. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing a lot of other posts, just here and there. So my live was my post. But there were some videos where that going back to that video and then commenting and, answering questions and, even like on this video, we'll come back and we'll make sure. And so if I was creating 3, let's just say lives per day as the content, that would be too much for me to maintain. So it has to be at the level that you can do it. And, depending on the type of content, can you keep up with the engagement that's happening because of it? I have a membership that one of the things that I've done is you can only do this in a group, but I've turned off the posting because I don't want it to be a group where they have to come in and engage and spend that extra time because we all talk about, we've got a lot of things to do. There's, and, we might not have enough time. So.
Thank you for your thoughts on that. And I want to go back to what Tracy said, because, my initial answer was, no, you can't post too much. The reason I said that, Tracy, and everyone listening who's curious about that is just what I found by helping artists throughout the years. It kind of goes back to what Jamie and I were talking about earlier, like wondering if, I'm putting this in their face too much. The average person that I've worked with, the artists who want to start like figuring out business and posting and stuff, they're not posting daily. They're not posting a lot. And like I said, when I listened to that Facebook developer and he said 3 times a day on Facebook, that really is a lot. So that's kind of how I quickly answer it for people that ask me that, because I know they're not going to sit there all day and be posting, because it takes a lot just to do one posting. But I really like how you cleared that up, Jamie, because you're right. You do have to go back. You have to engage. You have to let people know that you hear them, you see them, you are grateful and thankful that they're engaging with you and that they're liking your content that you're putting out. So that's pretty important there.
Yeah.
So
I definitely on my side.
You go and then I'll go.
On my side, I have to wait for you to stop speaking. Otherwise, it sounds like there's this, I don't even know how to describe the sound, but it's this like, I don't know, echo of a like dog barking sound. If you're talking and I'm talking.
I think you had that before on one of our.
Every single week.
What the heck is that? I don't hear that on my end.
I know it's something about the what's that word? When we're talking over each other, it's what's the word that I'm trying to think of? Like what's it called when you have a speaker on and there's static, but that's not the right word. What's that word?
An echo?
Cheryl sounds like it's a ferocious dog. I don't know. But I have to be really careful. Like I have to wait for you to stop speaking because yeah.
Oh, that's frustrating, Jamie. I'm going to investigate that.
That's the word.
Feedback.
Yeah. It's a ferocious dog feedback sound.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. On my end, you sound crystal clear and it sounds totally fine. Um, I'm sorry, but I'm going to jot that down. I always have my pen and paper here. So let's see. You don't have the app open on your phone and your computer next to you, right? Your phone.
Uh-uh.
Okay. I don't know. I'll look into it and see if I can find
Yeah.
something to help you with that, because that's irritating. All right, I'm going to stop and let you go.
So Cheryl had a question here. She said, is it problematic to share your business page post to your personal profile versus recreating a post on your personal profile? So I know I've talked about this a little bit before. So what are your thoughts on this one?
My thoughts are, whenever you make an organic post within wherever you are, your profile, your group, your page, that's going to get more engagement. But Facebook will push it out to more people if you're getting engagement. So it's better to do an organic post. But Facebook does not mind us sharing links within its own platform. So we can, and I do this every once in a while, just share something from my business page to my profile. That's fine. Like I do that with Jamie and I's coffee chats right now. I'll share the event on my profile, which is fine. But it's still not going to get as much notice as organically putting it in.
Yeah. So I feel I'm getting a ton of feedback today. I feel like Facebook doesn't know whether it's a link from inside or outside. So Tracy was kind of asking like what an organic post is. So an organic post means that it's not shared from somewhere else. So you can copy all the text from your business page and you can paste that over into your personal profile. And what I suggest doing is tagging that you're at your business. So then your business name comes up on there and it shows, and it's like you're geotagging your post. So you do that with a restaurant, you do that with, other businesses or whatever. You're just doing it for yourself, right? And you can do that, and that will get, like Amy said, more engagement than if you share from anywhere. So I don't think that it matters whether you share a YouTube link, whether you share a Facebook event, whatever, those will never get as much engagement unless you're in my Engagement Made Easy group and I teach you the strategies. Because I will say that engagement trumps just about anything else. So best practices are not to share a link. But if you can get engagement on that post that has the link, it doesn't matter. So example for that, when I do a live video, I don't usually put a link up in the description. But after I do the video and there's engagement and there's comments, I will go put that link because it's then easier for people to grab from the description than looking down in, and trying to figure out, but it's already got engagement.
Mm-hmm.
So, whenever Amy and I share something, I always like to tell the people that I work with, these are best practices in my business. Try them and see if they work the same in your business too. For me, if I share from my business page, I don't, like Amy was saying, I don't get the engagement if I share it over to my personal profile as much as I do organically posting, copying, and posting the very same thing. Now I will say that if you get a share, that does count as engagement and it gets seen, by more people, but not if you're the one sharing from your it's beneficial for you to share from your business page because it's a share. But if you're sharing it over to your personal profile, you're not benefiting because new people probably aren't seeing it. Right? It's good to get a share because you can usually get in front of more people. But when it's you sharing your business page over to your personal profile, you're not benefiting the same way as someone who's a follower sharing your post onto their profile. You get now in front of their people, their friends, their followers. So,
Jamie, I just want to let you all know, anytime you're listening to anything, make sure you're writing stuff down, because I'm a firm believer in you should be learning something every day. And even though Jamie and I know each other, we're both business women, and I still learn things, or I remember things. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I got to write that down. So Jamie, you brought something up, which I think is a good point for everyone to help them with posting, engagement, views, things like that. So I'm going to test this, because I remember back when you had mentioned like tagging, or, at mention. I remember back in the day when I would go on Facebook Live on my business page, inside of the description, I could at mention myself, my Amy
Mm.
Prendergast Parker profile. And so when I did that, it would show up on my profile right when I'm live. Now, I've had, since Facebook, last year did the big, everybody pushing over to the new Facebook and this and that. Now I've had some glitches with my description on my business page. I've got other glitches still on my business page because of the switchover. But I'm mentioning this to you all because if you have that availability to tag yourself, at mention yourself in your description of your live on your business page, that will be like magic, because that's how I grew my page quite a bit in the beginning, by doing that. So try it, check it out, see if you have that availability on your live.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever tried that.
Yeah,
So,
I learned that from the Facebook developer that I used to
okay.
follow. Yeah, all kinds of little back end tricks like that.
Yeah. Lori says, what about sharing to a community page? Like, so you have something on your business page and you share it into a community page. What do you think about that?
Well, what do you think she's talking about for a community? Like being in, like, for instance, I live in Laconia, New Hampshire. So I am in my city's business page, business group. So is that what you think she's talking about? Sharing it into like a group like that you don't admin, but that you're a part of?
Oh, so she's talking about specifically an event. So I've tested this quite a bit. So I have my neighborhood here. We have a community page or group. It's a group, not a page. So we have for my town that I live in, we have a group. We have different groups like that, right? They're groups. And like Amy said, if they're ones that you don't admin, I've tested this, and as a viewer in that group, I've noticed, that's how I learn a lot of things too. I notice like what's working and what's not working in other, places. So I know in my community group here, I'm a resident in this community. Those people don't want me to come into there as a business and share something into that group of an event because it looks like I'm selling.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody else shared that event into there that wasn't me, I've never had anybody try that, to see if that might, then they're referring me, right? I have always had more luck taking whatever photo that looks like a photo, not an event, not something you're selling, not something with a price on it. And you put that picture in there and you say something in the description about this is going to be so much fun, bring your friends, whatever the, to create some curiosity that they don't want to miss out on. And then in the comments, you put the link to the event.
Yeah. So
I get a lot more engagement that way.
So Lori is talking about community pages. So sharing to a community page. So instead, because I agree with you on everything you said about your community groups that we are in as members, but what do you have to say about sharing it to a community page?
I don't think as an admin, like I don't allow other people to post on my page. So I don't think most pages allow you. Now you can mention that, and then like you said, maybe it would come up onto their mentions or whatever, but I thought that she was talking more about groups because then that's where you're getting in front of, more people. So
Now, Laura Corbello, she's a creative warrior. She's an amazing member inside of my membership. And Laura, maybe you can type in the comments if you can, just to kind of clear that up for Lori. But Laura has a really nice booming business. She supports herself with her art business alone. She used to be a teacher as well, Jamie.
oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. And Laura is a great asset to my community inside of Creative Warriors. She's wonderful. So Laura seems like she has she's got some experience with this. So maybe you can type in Laura for Lori, like how you do that. Is it
Yeah, because I don't think with a business page, other people can, but a community group is different. So there may be confusion about what we're talking about. A page is a business. A group is the community that might be for that business, that
yeah.
might be, so yeah, it might be, yeah, they're community groups, she's saying, not pages. So,
Oh, thank you, Laura,
yeah,
for
little
clearing
side
that up.
topic there, but yeah, that's definitely so.
Thank you, Laura. And congratulations, Laura, on
Yeah,
everything
that's
you're doing for
awesome.
your business. I mean, she's rocking it. She's an amazing person and artist. Yeah.
Tracy says that she does have friends inside that community page share her events, like I was talking about.
Perfect.
And you do get more engagement with that because then it looks like a referral, right?
Perfect.
Instead of, yeah. Lori here says that a lot of those groups, especially if they are like network marketing type kind of groups, that they do have like a marketing Monday. So I have my creative business owner basics group, and every once in a while I will do a post where they can share links into it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I don't know that I've really ever talked about this somewhere. If you are an admin for a group, and little spoiler alert here, we have our topic for the next coffee chat that we're going to do in 2 weeks. Do you want to go ahead and tell them what it is?
Is it the groups and pages?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
The groups versus pages.
Yeah, we're kind of getting into that a little bit, and we'll be able to talk about like best practices with that and things. So that got me sidetracked on what I was just thinking about here. So, okay. So my creative business owner basics group, I have where they can share, a link to their business. If you're an admin for a group, and we can talk more about this in 2 weeks, the reason that you want to do that rather than allowing them to share their link in the post itself or share something into the group, because it does all the things that we're talking about that you shouldn't do when you're sharing like your business page to your personal profile. It's the same thing. Facebook does not give the same type of engagement to if somebody shares something outside of a group into the group. Right. But it's okay if you put the link to whatever it is in the comments. So as an admin of a group, that's better. You're encouraging people to network. So I love that idea of the, marketing Monday or networking, I forget what I call mine, Friday, whatever. And they can share their links on that one post. So yeah, lots of engagement, different things. And Cheryl says a lot of groups do not allow business pages to join. So, which that's true too. And, I think the reason for that, I have my business group and I do allow that. And we can talk more about that in 2 weeks, why that is. But you want to post in that group, even if you're in there as your business page, you want to post as yourself. I want people to know me as the owner of my business. I don't want them to know me as the, or, you know, like know my brand, my business, and then have to figure out that I'm the owner of that
That
brand.
you're a real person.
Yeah, I want them to connect with me, and that's my, you know, thing, because I value community and relationships, and you know, so that's one of my core values. You know, Nike probably doesn't you know, think that way, but for me right now, that's, I want to focus on that, you know, to be able to do
Yeah.
that. So yeah, so
Yeah.
even if you are able to join a group as a business, my recommendation is that you interact in that group as your personal profile. So they
Yep.
get to know you.
Well, we're right at the hour, just 1 minute over. Do
I
we
think we
have
might be
any
able to
more?
keep it to an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you
Yeah.
have more questions about this and about content, and you know, we kind of talked about a lot of different things related to content today, but we will be on Amy's page in 2 weeks, so that will be on the 21st, and we will be talking about groups and pages and, you know, just all of those things. So Amy will be creating an event, and usually we create a post inside the event where you can ask questions. So then if there are questions when we come onto the video, we can answer those there. And so, yeah, thanks everybody for showing up and being interested in this topic of, I mean, it's a huge topic of just content and creation and just posting, and yeah, so. Yep. I don't think it shows up Amy or Angel, Amy on, she's on my left. I think that that's how it shows up for everybody. So it'll be on her Amy Parker art page. So, and she can post the link in here.
Yeah, I put it into my free group, Creative Dreams and Living Artists, and I also will post it in your Creative Business Owners group, your CBOB group, so everybody will be able to find it.
Yeah. Very good. Well, everybody have a great weekend. It is Good Friday. It is Easter weekend. We've already been doing a couple of Easter related activities, and we have another one tonight. And then we have several services over the weekend, and maybe an Easter egg hunt in there, or, you know, I don't know. So, yep. So everyone have a great weekend, and we will see you back for the next coffee chat in 2 weeks. So bye, everybody.
Bye.